Okay. A lot of people have been asking me why I am basically so worried and so concerned about Obama, and worried that he could possibly lose the Democratic Party. Keep in mind, this is a strict opinion. I'm making it very clear that I'm making an opinion. It's just something that I'm looking in the back of my head and just thinking about how things are very awkward. Now, if you think about the media sway towards Obama right now, people think I'm crazy, but if you think about who the media is controlled by, okay, say Disney, who donated $640,000 to Bush or contributed, Microsoft, who contributed $2.4 million to Bush, General Electric, who owns NBC, CNBC, MSNBC, A&E, donated $1 million to Bush. And then Time Warner, who owns TBS, AOL, CNN, HBO, donated $1.6 million to Obama. Now, the reason I bring this up about the media sway is, have you ever seen or heard the term playing possum? Now, I want you to think about that same theory right now. If there is some kind of tie that Bush has, or that the Republic, or that these, oh, by the way, just another thing, on the board directors for Westinghouse, who also owns CBS, CNT, and Group W Satellite.com, is a Republican named Frank Carlucci. But beyond that, if you've ever seen or heard the term playing possum, what if that implies the situation right now? How, if you look at how the press is making it out to look like, oh, the Republicans are just doing so bad, and, you know, they just don't know what they're going to do, and they're just so worried, and oh my god, they have Barack Obama, and they're just like, oh my god, we can't believe we're going to go up against Barack Obama. I personally think that they're playing possum. After looking at, like I said, I told you guys I went through a discovery kind of phase, and after looking at everything, it's awkward. It's very awkward. And the reason I say that is because Bush being a Republican, Bush already sounding off concerns about Barack Obama. And if you look at the natural build-up of how the Republicans are making it come out in the back screens, I want you to think about sections 301 and 306 of the Terrorist Identification Database in the Second Patriot Act. Basically, this is an overall broad scan that would enable Bush to use whatever means he had at his disposal to find out the information about anybody at any time, including senators and including anybody. So, I'm thinking to myself, Bush has this massive weapon, you know, that he can dig hard. And now just look at the natural, common knowledge kind of stuff that everybody knows about Barack Obama. It's all common knowledge, so I just want you to think about that, just the natural amount that they know. And, you know, you do not have to be a Muslim or any of that to actually fall under the Second Patriot Act. That's my main concern, is that he already has ties. Some of them might not be substantiated, some of them may be substantiated, but he does have ties to Nation of Islam leaders. Now, this is just a very small amount of information from, you know, your regular investigative press who really aren't digging that hard and finding anything at all. But, you know, like I said, investigative journalism right now is kind of on hold pattern. So I keep thinking to myself, you just get this whole little play, this little play going on in front of you, and you see all of these things unfolding. You see, the Republicans are fierce right now in concerns that, you know, they had lost the, I think it was the Senate, I believe. And they're just really not willing to let go of the White House. They're not. Like I said, if you actually look at everything and like look at all the stuff that has happened from point A to point B. Now, you don't keep in mind, I don't think that he has taken his eye off of Hillary Rodham Clinton at all. I don't think he's done that. I think he's actually keeping her still on targets. But the way the media is pushing Barack Obama makes me think they've got something, because the media is being controlled, or not being controlled, but at least has some measurable amount of sway that they're trying to push for their own agendas. For what reasons? Now, keep in mind, these are people who are donating to Bush. Compared to the money Barack's got, that's nothing. So like I said, it's very, very concerning. That, to me, is a potential risk. Now, keep in mind, I want all of you to know this. I think there's a lot of people, especially in the Democratic and Republican Party, that are in tune with this and have this kind of, like, in mind. I'm not saying it's a massive amount, but I do say it's at least a moderate amount of people that are politicians that do know about this, or at least have this kind of thought in the back of their head. I want everybody to lose that disillusion that this is just going to be point A, point B, oh, election, done. I don't think that's going to happen. I want you to know that. Like I said, this is just one of those times where I'm putting out one of my theories, one of my opinions. I'm not factually backed up by any of this except for the amounts and the donations, those tiny little things, and the excerpts from the Second Patriot Act. Other than that, though, I'm basically giving you my opinion. The reason I'm giving you my opinion is because I was asked several times why I decided against Barack Obama when I was originally thinking about voting for Barack Obama. But it's kind of like that whole common knowledge thing kicks into me, and then common sense, I try not putting in the back seat. And you have to not underestimate your government, and you have to not underestimate the intricacy of how they weave these webs. I want you to understand that. So there's your answer. I originally wanted to vote for Barack. I thought it would have been cool. I've always thought it would be better to have somebody fresh and new in there originally, but then when you actually look at how situations play out, the Democratic Party's chance right now is Hillary Rodham Clinton. Like I said, I'm saying this from a totally unbiased point of view. It's just from what I've seen and what I feel is logical, and the logical events that are going to be happening. I personally would not be surprised. I'm going to go on record right now. I would not be surprised if there's this clever little trick that happens to where even a Republican would endorse Barack Obama. That would be amazing to me. That would be amazing. Let me know what's up. Definitely.